now is the time to begin. That way, Sam can get in his penis comments and we can get it out of the way.
Nah, just wait till the end.
I mean, he can end it with a, okay, cool beans. So, if no one is objecting, and everyone's ready, I would like to call for a recap of last game.
Shit got weird.
Some ghosts are friendly and some ghosts are not.
That's what children's television taught me at an early age.
Biff punched water.
Water punched Alina.
Water punched Alina. Biff tried to get retribution. It didn't work.
Not quite.
Okay, so we entered the underwater temple. We went in, we were a little genre savvy and checked for traps and all that fun stuff and made sure the party stuck together and just, good dungeoneering tips from all of us being members of the Black Dragon Commission. That's why they gave us the black badges.
That's why they call you boss. Maybe.
Alina went to inspect one of the wells of water / mirrors, thinking this is probably a trap, and got smacked by the water, which then proceeded to climb out of its container to try and eat her. It was quickly dispatched. Then they moved forward into the second chamber, and the second chamber was filled with ghosts and, I think skeletons? I can't remember, I'm gonna be honest.
Skeletons, exploding skeletons.
Yeah, I think it was exploding skeletons and just corrupted things.
Yep, you did take note that a number of the skeletons were dressed in what looked to be holy vestments of some kind.
Yes. The current theory is that they are part of this is a sentinel, or the last resting place of one of I'm bad at names tonight, guys.
This is the last resting place of Master Calyad.
Yes. So, killed some skeletons, freed their ghosts who were friendly, and helped us kill more skeletons. It worked out real well for us.
A mutually beneficial situation, it seems like.
So, now we're debating what to do next, and the ghosts are bouncing about.
Ghosts are bouncing about, so...
Okay, more fill-in.
More fill-in.
Before someone decided to scream out and trigger all of the zombies, only one zombie had seen people and was moving. But before that happened, we had just found a secret passage that the alchemical homunculus was able to open for Roar, because Roar has a big hand and can't actually fit his hand into the small crevices. And there is a passageway in this well down at the bottom, where Alina got smacked in the face by a slime. We tried to get Adanhu out of the portable hole, but he immediately started to disintegrate as he came out. We quickly pushed him back in. It turns out we're in this holy temple that we're in has been not desecrated. Has been
desecrated.
And then I said, well, that explains why Calyad was dead, because they're probably here because we have definitely found, the monks. And the monks, which look like will-o-wisps, which I believe are called Wispo-wills? Or Willow-wills, or something, Willow-wells, whatever they are. They were able to answer yes or no, kind of like by bobbing and jingling. So they know who Master Calyad is. This is her last resting spot. But they are not going to be able to assist in maintaining Adanu. And they are unsure if we somehow don't kill the other monks that remain, if those monks would be able to maintain Adanhu. So that's a question we have. And Adanu asked that we cleanse this place of its desecration and possibly allow him to see Calyad for one last time. and we killed everything, and we have 4 paths to go, and we were just talking about what to do when we closed off last game.
I would like to point out that depending on party funds and diamonds, we could do more than just let him see Master Kaliad one last time, probably.
What's the more?
True resurrection.
True
I mean,
resurrection.
if someone had
Holy
it,
shit.
then yes, Roar could supply. No, Roar couldn't because it has to be 20 some odd thousand diamond worth, and he is not that stupid to use up the was it 13 or 11 baseball chunked aether stones for that.
Oh man, that is a high level
It's a
spell if I'm
7th
not
level.
mistaken.
It's a level
7th
spell.
level spell.
Yeah, it's not something that Roar ever gets.
I mean, you guys know clerics. Take them to the gym, get them to level up, and maybe you'll see something amazing happen. Interesting. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm just saying, maybe we don't destroy the body. Maybe we put a pin in that for later.
Maybe put a pin in that for later. So,
Vanya's gonna get some shit.
Vanya's gonna get some shit. We'll see where she goes. So, I'm seeing things happening. What is happening? Well. Oh, you see the names of the creatures? Good to know. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to add?
Based on the fact that this is desecrated land, and we saw that the body of Kalied was a dried husk, pretty much. We know she or he is dead, and not undead. So we only have to worry about their subordinates.
I'm just saying.
Which are very much
for
undead.
now.
For now. So, as you guys pontificate and make tentative plans to maybe investigate or test the waters, as it were, let's change some thematic music. Roar, as you make your way out of the portable hole, you find your friends are on alert, looking around at the various piles of bone, rubble, and what appears to be a single severed foot, as 3 of the willow wells flit and bob around the room. A light fills this dome-like interior, coming from both everywhere and nowhere at once. A soft illumination providing precious vision for those of you who cannot see in the dark. Roar, you can intuit this is the doing of one of the wells of the 4 that were here. Oh, you get back into your pen. Good, Willowell. You can hear the gentle pattering of webbed feet behind you as Fiend Keeper Bulgup proceeds to march and patrol the path you had led behind. And you look about to see this room, now illuminated for what it is. Masterful stonework is interwoven around this dome-like structure, with carvings and shapes of serpents etched into the rock. At the center of the room, there is a somewhat raised platform, almost like a dais, with a serpent wrapped around it. It has a circular platform that the snake wraps around, and one moment. The very outer shape of the ring, shaped like that of a serpent's mouth opened, yawning wide. Those of you, all of you, now that you can see, can notice that along these stone walls, there are engravings of letters, of words, etches of runic. not magical runic, but old draconic for those who speak the language. To the east and west of you, there are raised staircases, only about 2 or 3 feet tall, which lead into arched columns, beyond which stand stone doors, seamed at their center. They look as though they could budge inward or budge outward, depending. You do notice that on the westward wall, this door appears to have a locking mechanism across the front. It is a bar with a cube-like device that looks much like a lock with a keyed hole in the center. It's not of any identifiable make. It doesn't look dwarven. It doesn't look gnomish. Um, it is well maintained and well kept despite the wetness in the air. And the air is wet. The ground beneath you is wet. About a few millimeters of water that make your footsteps slap and slosh as you walk. As you turn your attention about the room westward, you see the westernmost door is unlocked. The device is missing from the bar in the front, but a thin trickle of water slowly ebbs out of the seam. Not squirting, but there's an audible trickle. Between the two doors north of you, there is a third door, sealed at its center, likewise locked. You are free to move and inspect the area.
Okay, well, I recall last game that when I looked over those snake statues, there was an aether stone in one eye and not in the other three.
Yes, as you look at the stone statues, you see that there is a gleaming blue stone in one of the serpent's eyes. The other 3 sockets are empty.
I look back to the secret passage, look at that, look at the other doors. I think we have to find other crystals so we can open that door. But I found a secret passage. Who wants to go in the secret passage first? Or do you want to go down these halls?
Biff looks back. He has moved closer to the um, the hall with the trickling water door. Biff is interested in the idea that the secret passage will take us roundabout. Perhaps it's safe assumption that this door will open and water will come out. Biff suggests we let the water out before perhaps getting trapped somewhere.
I mean, the door that I opened, that secret passage, could be opened from the other side. The only thing hiding that door was the slime that attacked Alina. Now that that's not there, it's safe, or as safe as going anywhere in here is, knowing that more of the monks are probably in every corner.
Yes, but this door can probably open. I want Biff want to go here.
Yes, but that is the obvious open door.
Do not be such a coward to take the door that is offered.
I'm still gonna have to pick the lock of that other door, and you probably need all 3 crystals, or no, missing crystals in the eyes of the snakes to open that door. Assuming that that's a latch of some kind and not someone just pried out the aether stones. So I think we have to go everywhere, and I don't know. It seems kind of smart not to, if there's water coming out from behind there, maybe not open it as long as possible.
From what level, DM, is the water trickling? Is it like head height, shoulder height,
The
etc.?
water is running down the central seam of this door. You try to point out where the water begins, and as you look the door over, it seems anywhere that the stone has been wedged into, like all across the outer edge, down the seam, it's all weeping. It's trickling the most at about belly button height. That's where it starts to visibly run. The rest of it appears to be just about everywhere. You suss out essentially that yeah, there's water behind this door, and probably a lot of it.
Unless we have to worry about water breathing running out, I'd say save that door for last because it's going to make things moving in here awkward.
It's true, and we are under a lake, so it's not like maybe like relieving the pressure. It's possible that will drain the room, but it's also possible it will just flood the whole temple.
Is fair to point both. And Biff halfway sulks back over to the others.
I start moving back. It's also of note that if there's a secret passage, the monks probably aren't down it. So give us the easiest, but possibly trapped path first, where we don't have to worry about fighting off undead. Hopefully. After all, this place is desecrated.
Alright, well, Biff is gonna hit to the secret path because that legit seems like the thing to do.
All right. So, Roar, you make your way down the hallway. You pass by Fiend Keeper Bulgup, and he gives you a nod and looks about somewhat. Hearing the conversation about desecration, he furrows his brow. He leans up against one of the pillars and watches as you approach the place where you had found the secret entrance before. Karn, patrolling, keen-eyed as ever, looks about, and you recognize almost immediately there is a problem with the secret passage in regards to Karn.
Oh, that that is unfortunate. Um, you're a bit big, Karn. Hmm.
Karn kind of snips their claws a little bit and swishes their giant scorpion tail, looking at their appendages with their many eyes before sulking in scorpion.
Unfortunately, I did not prepare the one spell that would allow you to stay a scorpion. Hmm.
Blind reduce? I've got that today.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It's been pretty much a staple ever since the Barroth.
I gesture towards Leah and to Karn.
Suggest we scope out the size of the hallway beyond to make sure that he can get through it in the minute that it lasts.
Okay. And I will just go into the hole?
Biff
Okay.
can run probably faster than Roar.
All right. Okay, so
Is it just straight through on this discoloration?
yeah, one moment. So you lift up the false wall, and you see that there is just about enough room for a regular humanoid to like squeeze through. Definitely not something that a large creature like Karn could squeeze through, but definitely a smaller creature like you could. Do you have any means of seeing in the dark? Because it is pitch black as you poke your head into the water.
Yes, I still have a couple of those stones on me that give off their own light from tinkering, and I also have dark vision with my belt of dwarven kind.
Oh, excellent. So let's see here. As you look inside, you see that there is about 10 feet of space in this crawl space. It is almost completely submerged in water. There's maybe an inch of air above. Doesn't really matter for you and your party, considering you're all water breathers today. At the other end of this path, you see there is a flat wall, much like the one you passed before, with a small opening on the bottom that allows the water to pass through. You can wedge your hands into it, and from your side, there appears to be a tiny latch that can be undone.
I will undo that latch now that I see it.
You undo the latch, and the lock opens. Okay. What is your passive perception?
One moment here. Sheet passive perception. Why is my brain not working? Was a 14. It's a 12.
Your passive perception is a 12. So as you enter into this next room, you find that it is a somewhat spacious room. It's like almost a workshop, almost an office. You see a pen of some kind with long since decayed, rotten thatch, um, and what appears to be a stone in one corner, like a small boulder. Faceted into it, you see the faint red gleam of an aether stone. The pen is about waist height with narrow, thin rods of steel in between. Some kind of cage for some kind of creature, some kind of small creature based on the distance between the bars. Across the way, directly in front of you, you see a series of shelves with cylindrical, round containers inside. You recognize these immediately as scroll cases. To the left of you, south, you see there is a desk, and upon that desk, there is among other items, you see a box made of. Hello?
Hello.
Hello! Welcome! I will touch base with you in a moment. You see a locked iron, you think, box, some kind of metal adjacent. And you can tell it's locked because there is a mechanism on the side of it that is clearly latching it, but does not seem to have a keyhole. Upon this desk, there are 5 black discs, almost like coasters, strewn about in small clay figures all across the desk. What catches your eye, on the seams of the box, there is a faint blue glow escaping it. And as you look around and take note of all these items in the room, the bits and bobs and other detritus, you also notice in the very southern part of the wall, the stone has been stained black. In complete darkness, you cannot really discern much. However, that faint blue glow in the dim light does reveal this black mar is slick. It has a faint sheen to it. It almost looks as though black tar were pouring or dripping from the seams in the stones. You see a puddle starting to form in the corner of that room. Very thin, very shallow.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving. The puddle wasn't there before I entered, and seeing it start to grow, I
Does not look like it has been there for very long.
Yep,
So,
no.
you turn to go. As you turn, you see out of the corner of your eye, and you smell with your sensory mask the acrid scent of chemicals, rot, and something just vaguely familiar. You can move in if you choose.
I am actually. Oh man, this is a dumb motherfucking idea. I'm gonna quickly cast message.
Message.
So
Take
I
your action to cast message.
Yep. I'm gonna quickly pull up my tools and quickly tweak a piece of my face mask off and put it in, hold it just so in front of my face, and I tell Biff, Biff, there's this black ooze thing in here. I'm gonna need some help. Yes, there's room for Karn if he's made small. Get over here.
All right, so I don't know how message works. Does he just hear that in his head?
Yeah, you just hear it in your head. And the last thing is, you can reply if you want, but please hurry.
Okay.
Roar, you're standing your ground? Holy shit. Okay, cool. So Roar, one last thing. You do notice in the north part of the room, there is a old wooden door. It is a little rotten looking, but there is a steel bar across it. You do see there's a lock mechanism on it. Oh, my Bluetooth just disconnected. We good? Okay, cool.
Yep. So I used my action. I am partially glowing because of the trinkets on me. And I really don't want to damage anything in this room, but I also know that oozes can move faster than I can through small spaces, so it's bad for me to get trapped. So I'm just gonna take out my quarterstaff and take a step back and hope for the best.
Okay, give me one moment. I have to check something real quick. Movement speed. Oh, this is fucking great. Okay. So, as this thing kind of pulls up and builds up out of the ground, Biff, you can take your action first.
All right. Biff blinks at the message in his head, looks around, realize at being told hurry, he turns to the others. Renora says that there is black ooze coming up to him. God, you can go in if you are shrunken.
I
And he
swarm immediately into the passage.
So
Do
you
not
gotta
small yet.
no, don't do that.
Karn, you attempt to swarm into the passage and you are much too large. It is a small passage. A medium creature has to squeeze. Right now, it looks like Leah's about to cast a spell to make you smaller. But with your eagerness, you get in Biff's way.
Yeah, I will reduce Karn.
Biff, you can take an action to shove Karn out of the way if you want to get in front of there.
Yeah, he goes to just shove his shoulder in, and Biff just move, please.
Okay, I'm not actually going to make you use the action. Biff, you are again approaching the well, the mirror. The false wall has been lifted up, and you begin to cram your way into it. As you're squeezing, you're moving using half of your movement to get through this 20-foot space. This 10-foot space. So it costs you 20 feet of movement to get through.
Okay.
But you find yourself on the other side with your remaining movement.
Okay.
Like he got launched out of a cannon when he was moving.
You enter into this dark room, and you see Roar has a few nodes of light lit up on his body. You also notice in the corner Let me create a tiny bit of light right here. There we go. You do see in the corner, over just out of view, you see the scintillating glow? Not glow, the reflection of blue light on a liquid-ish surface. Something big and something extremely slimy is in that corner, just beyond your range of human vision.
As the reaction, now that he's in, can I knock one of my trinkets down onto the ground, hopefully about 10 feet in front of me?
Sure, you have 4 of them total?
3, because I had to drop one to do a different ability earlier on.
Sure. Is it 5 and 5?
Yeah, it's 5 and 5.
5 and 5. All right. I'm assuming you toss it right in the corner into the goo.
Yeah, I get it towards the goo. Hopefully it doesn't touch the goo, because I don't know what kind of ooze thing it is, whether it'll eat it or just move around it. But yeah, as close as possible, so that at least Biff can see if he wants to try magic punching shit.
Magic punching shit. Okay. Biff and Roar, you find yourselves in the room. Okay. Can everyone... What is everyone else doing at this time? Karn, I know you're crammed up against that wall. Alina, you are hearing some of the stuff going on.
I would have followed immediately after Biff.
Okay, so you dive into this thing and you start crawling forearm over forearm. Leah, you cast
me?
Leah, do you cast Reduce on Karn?
I'm gonna give it a moment to get so there's not a dog pile of people in this tunnel.
Okay.
Can I peek through? I know I just said there's a dog pile, and I probably can't see through Alina or Biff, but theoretically, could I cast light on the far wall?
Oh. Roll me a perception check. Just a perception check. See if you can get line of sight. With an 8, there's too much meat and too much metal in the way.
That said,
then I'll flat out ask Karn if he minds if I cast light before shrinking him. That way, everyone in there can see.
Oh. All right. All right. So you negotiate with Karn. What to do next? Verdi, Natasha, what are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna wait until everyone's like not
Through to the other side?
the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Biff, you hear the sound of clinking armor behind you. Alina, you crawl through, you bump into Biff, kind of shove him out of the way. Biff, you can move to an adjacent square. Alina, you suddenly have line of sight as... Sorry, Leah, you suddenly have line of sight as Alina shifts out of the way and crawls out of the wash basin.
Okay. Did I get any like nod or head shake from the giant metal scorpion?
I moved out the way so you could get close enough to take care of it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna see if I can't cast light right about here on this floor tile.
The room glows as one of the tiles glows bright.
holy shit!
Be easier to see it now.
Biff kind of wish he didn't.
So, Alina, Biff, Roar, you see this monster of a black slime take form, tendrils reaching out in all directions, clinging to the walls, seeming to reach into the stones to extract more of itself from beyond the temple's infrastructure. I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Well, that's a whole ass thing.
So I should have probably hit the hand thing because I was trying to ask a question.
What are you asking?
One, does well, the light part doesn't matter. Two, can I use my bonus action to use the Stone of Chaos?
Absolutely. You have time to take a bonus action.
Okay.
You guys just don't get a surprise round.
Okay.
You're on even footing.
Yeah, as everyone's readying, I say, please don't damage anything in here. Just attack the ooze. Just attack the ooze.
Is the ooze? Got it.
Just the ooze. Roar, you say this as the ooze is starting to overtake the pen and the boulder that's inside of it. The dull red glow of the faceted aetherstone goes dark as it is swallowed by the goo. Okay.
We want to lure it out of that room?
Hey, it's on the table. It doesn't move fast. Well, you guys don't know that. So, in the encounter tab, the Fisticles, you can click the button to roll your initiative.
Thank you.
I believe. Can I adjust initiative after the fact? I can change initiative if you guys choose to roll with dice. Unless everyone is content with, wow, did I really roll a 1.5? What is a 0.5 initiative?
Well, you do with,
0.05?
Initiative is Initiative is so weird.
That's 11, I think. No. Wait.
Let me guess, your
Oh.
monster has a 5 dexterity.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's just your dexterity modifier. Attack to the
Oh, wow. Okay.
That way, if you got
Weird.
2 people that roll 20s, you know who's going first.
Well, that's super smart. So it appears that the ooze is still struggling to extract itself from the walls. It's hungry, but it doesn't want to start this fight on the wrong foot. Leah.
Oh, there's
On
the combat
pseudopod?
tracker.
I'm gonna...
Oh, no. Why are we playing this music?
I mean,
Continue. I'll fix it as we go.
Time to ask if we want to lure it out of that room, since fragiles.
It's absorbing everything it passes.
I will...
At least according to what Karn is, what Roar is seeing currently.
I will pop reduce onto Karn, and I will come through into the small room. Oh. Try to end up here instead. And I'm gonna Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. Do you still have Shillelagh from last time, or does that end after a minute?
Bonus action? It's like my only bonus spell.
Got it. All right, so that's movement, that's bonus action. Anything with your action?
And small.
Oh,
She
yeah, Kara's
did
small.
reduce, so
Yep,
yeah.
gotcha. Okay, Verdi, you are up.
Well, everybody's in there, so I might as well move in, I guess. Oh, jeez. This is going to be awkward.
In here.
So, crawling through is going to cost you double the movement. It's going to cost 10 feet of movement to get... Sorry, 20 feet of movement to get through the 10-foot space. So, moving 30 gets you there. If you dash, you can get just past Alina into this square, or this square. I don't know if you can even see that. I'll move you across. You can be either one square above or one square below.
One square above or one square below. Oh, it's right there. All right, I will move up here.
Okay, so that was movement and your action to dash. Natasha follows after you.
Do I have
There we
rank
go.
on save stuck to my pointer?
Oh, just click it and it should do a thing.
No.
Hopefully. No? Uh-oh.
I don't. She can't attack either. I don't think, unless
No, I
she
think-
was able to go through without.
Let's see. Her movement speed is 50, so she would have been able to get through without using a dash action. So she can stop there, but to move her again would be a dash action, and she doesn't
Okay.
have range enough to attack.
All right, I'll just leave it at that.
She can use you can hold an action for a melee attack, or
I'll dash her over here.
all right, she dashes. She's up against the wall. That's it for Verdi. Karn, you're tiny.
I'm swarming into the space.
You swarm.
I have 40 feet movement. I believe, holy shit, 40 feet will get me about there.
Okay.
I
you
can't
find
really
that
do anything else with any of my other actions, so I'm going to use my action to dash.
action dash. You get inside, you crawl past Elena. Leah, dropping concentration on Enlarge Reduce is a free action. You can do so outside of your turn if you choose.
I don't know. Because it's not.
Do-
Okay, do concentration.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, I'll wait until he's clear of everybody.
He is.
Then yeah, I'll drop concentration.
All right, Karn, you and Biggin.
In beginning,
Going up.
He ate the mushroom.
Karn, you are a tide of steel and furious hot iron standing between you and your friends.
I arch my tail and I start clacking my claws menacingly.
Clickety clacketing with menace. Biff, you are up.
All right, Biff takes a step forward, rears back, and uses Scalding Breath.
Oh, okay. Let's see, a scalding breath. There should be a description of that. Cool. So it has to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, fuck no. All right, cool. We're off to a running start. Monster blocks. There we go. Yeah, it does not have dexterity as a proficiency. Who would have thought? So, yeah, he rolled a 13 on die. He has a -3, so that's 10. He takes full damage from your scalding breath.
All right, he takes 2d10, 16 damage.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, the scalding hot breath escapes from your maw, and for a moment, Alina, you swear you hear the sound of Aramag bellowing in the distance.
If only I could get an inspiration roll for that.
Its body swells ever so slightly as you see the steam enter its form and begin boiling it from the inside.
Cool. Biff's head shakes off the steam. He rears back and punches with his second attack.
All right, you go ahead and you punch.
Let's see what this do.
23 hits.
And then hit this button. So 1d6. For extra 1 damage.
So 7 points of bludgeoning damage. So normally you could take a bonus action here and do a flurry of blows. However, as your hand wetly slaps the side of the slime, causing it to momentarily grow firm like a jello mold, and fire ripples across its form, your knuckles burn. There's distinct sizzling, smoking sensation happening on your fist as you take acid damage from contact. I have to roll for this 1 sec. Take 3 points of acid damage.
All right, and that confirms what Biff wanted to test. Absolutely do not touch it, he says as he went his back. Is it worth forcing a reaction? Yes, it is. He's gonna move out of its space.
Okay. I think you have the ability to use key to evade. Is that to disengage as a...
No, we're gonna just
Okay. All right, yeah, it's going to use its reaction to try to snatch you up and eat you. It reaches out with a pseudopod, a long, slender tentacle, and let's see. It's a +5 to hit. 22 versus your AC.
Oh, that hits.
All right. You take 6 bludgeoning damage and an additional 9 points of acid. It sizzles across your side as your body blisters from the intense corrosive chemicals of the slime. Okay, Biff. Lena, you are up. You see rather quickly that this thing is dangerous to tussle with physically. Seeing what it did to Biff's fist, you can only imagine what it might do to your steel.
Alina, who does not have the common sense that the Raven Queen gave her, puts herself in between.
All right.
Oh, you know what she's gonna do? This is dumb.
I like dumb.
We'll see if this works. I'm gonna cast Command?
Command. Just briefly post command in case there is some kind of caveat that would prevent it from working. You speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw. If it doesn't understand your language, okay.
Oh, so
It has to understand your language in order for you to
doesn't.
command it.
Yeah,
Do
probably
you
does not.
attempt to command the slime?
You're not pushing.
No, because slimes probably don't speak common.
Okay.
I will assume that
Oh.
it does not speak common.
I will give you a moment to rethink your strategy. I like where you're going.
That's really the only spell I have that's not hit things or buff. So instead of trying to hit it... Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna hit it with a... No, I can't hit it with a sword. I'm gonna have no sword left.
I'll give you... I will let you make a check to determine whether or not you know you can attack a slime without losing your weapons. This could be a history check. This could be... fluff it however you like. It'll be a free check.
I'm sure Ilya spoke a lot about all of the different monsters she was sure that her daughter would come across.
Sure. You know, Ilya's a scientist.
Let's see if she remembers. Did not pay attention that day.
It's your mom. Take advantage.
Oh, sweet. 19.
19. You know that slimes don't immediately destroy armor or gear, but over time, they will. You, judging by the size of it and the veracity of its acid, you know you can hit it at least once. After that hit, you'll be able to suss out maybe how many hits it will take to really damage your ship.
In that case, I will hit it. And I'm going to hit it
All right.
as much as I can. So I'll be using my sword two-handed. Assuming I can fucking find it. Sorry, my character sheet changed types again.
Ah. We gotta poke at that during the pregame.
And I just realized why Shillelagh wasn't an attack thing on mine. It's because my quarterstaff's listed as loop.
Oh.
You fool.
I usually don't smack things.
You should.
Squishies don't smack things.
But it's fun.
That was not supposed to do that. It didn't roll my attack first for some reason. 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Okay, now I'm rolling damage. 8 damage.
8 points of damage. Is that all?
Nope. Let's throw a branding smite on that.
Branding smite. Yeah, throw the description in there and go ahead and use your branding smite. Just an FYI, branding smite has to be used before you attack. I'll let you have it this time.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Ouch.
2d6 radiant damage.
For a total
Can
of
it become
6.
invisible? For a total of 6. Okay. -6.
It sheds
So,
dim
as
light
you're...
now, so it has its own light.
It has its own light. Excellent. So it is glowing. It is now glowing and illuminated from the inside. You see all bits of detritus and bits and bobs floating. It turns out it's not completely opaque. It's slightly transparent. There's some bones in there. So as you cleave through it, you cleave through it. Give me one moment.
Oh no.
Now it's 2 smaller ones.
You neatly sever it in twain. You see it shows difficulty holding itself together despite this. The damage seems to have broken its cohesion. It sort of tendrils at itself as though confused or reacting to this arrangement. But yeah, there are very much 2 of them now. You draw your sword back and you find that there's a faint sizzling, a faint pock marking happening along the blade's edge. And you realize 6 more hits like that and your sword is toast.
Alright. Hold on, I'm grabbing a dice for a counter. Because I'm going to hit it again.
Alright, you have 1 more attack.
There's the attack. And there's the damage.
That's good damage. This one or that one?
The one of the... Okay, I'll click it. That
Gotcha.
one.
Decent damage.
I feel like Karn and I are good at protecting the squishies with our both being plated creatures of a type. So
You dig your blade in and you wrench back, slashing ichor across the wall, splattering it. It wiggles and jiggles, and it seems to struggle against your blade. That's your action. Your bonus action was to cast Branding Smite.
Yep.
That's everything. You stand as the bulwark between you and your allies. Roar, you're up.
I'm going to be stupid.
Hey. Name of the game.
I run right there You will not harm my history. I'm gonna rip out one of my crossbow bolts, and I'm gonna throw it forward, casting conjure. Actually, I want to double check something really quick before I finish saying this. This back wall had important things down here. We'll call it the south wall.
Does it look important? You see some incense. You see some old and tattered scrolls. They look like whatever was on them has long since degraded. The incense is rotten. The ink is dried.
Okay, well, I'm still not going to destroy those scrolls just in case, so I'm just going to conjure barrage directly at this pen and this wall, hitting this motherfucker for full blast. And
Catch one
it's
instead of
going to
catch
be...
both.
Yeah, I don't want to like, if I have a chance at rescuing something of importance on that thing, I'm going to.
Okay.
So that was my 4th level spell, and...
I'm going to say, due to their size, if you want to catch them in the cone and have them absorb the entirety of your barrage, I will let that happen.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'll do that. Because definitely
You're being
that is
careful.
what I would like to do.
Okay, go for it.
So yeah, it is a dex save. Target is 16.
All right. Lefty rolls an 11. Righty rolls a 13. You catch them both with your duplicated crossbow bolts. What's damage?
It's 3d8. I'm trying to roll it right now. 9. 14 piercing, magical piercing damage.
Magical piercing 14. Got it. As the one in the south is peppered by the piercing bolts, you see numerous holes forming inside of it that aren't closing as quickly as you imagine it should. Its surface tension is breaking. That's movement, that's action. Using a bonus action?
Double checking something really quick. I can't really do anything with the bonus action that I have. Nope, I just I'll hold up my quarterstaff and get ready.
Okay. As you prepare yourself, the slime before you rears back and you attacked it last. It's going to reach out and try to hit you with a pseudopod. $23 to hit.
Still has its original aura.
Well, I mean, yeah, it hits.
That's going to hit. Okay, you take D6 of bludgeoning damage. 2, 3, 4, 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And as the pudding's slime coats the side of your chassis, your armor sizzles. As you take 12 points of acid damage. Non-magical armor worn by the target. Oh no.
I'm integrated. I'm technically living, so I don't know how that works.
Does that count as... Roll me a Constitution saving throw. We'll do it that way. Okay. As your armor sizzles, the natural magic within you rebuffs the alchemical damage that you take. Although your chassis sizzles, you are keenly aware as your Etherstone, your Heartstone, thrums with power. This thing's trying to dissolve you. You survived the hit, but if you're not vigilant, you realize that your chassis may be worn away by repeated blows.
Yep.
That's its turn. Leah, you're up.
Let's see. Does either one look worse than the other?
The one on the very south is warbling and leaking.
So
it's like
this
it's
one,
sweating.
the bottom one.
The very bottom, yes.
I'm gonna Ray of Frost that one.
Okay. Oh no. Okay, 11 to hit. So your Ray of Frost slams into the creature, and you see the magic disappear. You see the bolt of frost sucked into it. You don't think it has any effect.
Aw.
It appears to be immune to cold damage.
That sucks.
Quite literally, that sucked. Does Ray of Frost have any additional effects?
Speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay, so you do see that it is kind of sluggish. Its form kind of solidifies, and you see it grow brittle.
Is that?
Anything with bonus?
Nope, because why cast Shillelagh again?
Gotcha. Elder Black Pudding. This one is going to attack you, Alina.
Yep.
Does a 20 hit your AC?
A 20 is my AC, and I think if it meets
20.
it beats it, so.
Yep, meets it, it beats it. It reaches out and slashes its wiry, slimy black pseudopod across your chest. You take 5, 6, 7, 8 points of bludgeoning damage as your armor begins to sizzle and bubble. 4. You take 9 points of acid damage. You become keenly aware that your armor is losing its integration. Your AC takes a -1 penalty. 4 more hits like this, and you will be without armor.
I gotta figure out a way to adjust my AC. Hold on.
Oh, there's no easy way to do that, is there?
Yep.
Let me see.
I'm just gonna put it as custom formula and then.
Got it, yeah. Afterwards, we can swap it back. Verdi, you are up.
Well, I can't do burning hands because everybody's in my way.
You sure can't.
I'm like, oh.
I mean, you
Probably
could.
doesn't.
I mean, you
I
could.
I could, but I don't know. How good is everyone's dexterity? Nah, I don't
Better than
want
the
to chance
slimes?
that. Well, yeah, better than the slimes, but
Much better than the slimes.
nah, Verdi's not that reckless. If I was playing Hildy, sure, but she doesn't have magic. All right, I am going to draw my longbow and stay away from this because wow, that is just those weapons and armor don't look too good. And the one near Alina's worse for wear, right?
The southern one is the worst off. It's half frozen. It's congealing and not forming correctly. It's coagulating like
Alright.
like a scab.
All right,
like a
I'm
clot.
gonna shoot that one. Do I want real dice? Ah, fuck it.
Man, you tell me.
What is it? It is +9, 1d8, and Pierce. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right.
You'd be surprised how low their AC is.
That is 8 piercing.
8 points of piercing damage. The arrow slips in, creates a new hole, and then quickly dissolves into nothingness. You have lost this arrow. The creature does not appear to have liked that.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him again. That is an 18 on die.
Nice.
That is 10 piercing damage.
10 points of piercing damage was all that was needed. You put 2 arrows in it, inexplicably causing its surface tension to finally snap like a wet balloon. It forms a wet, nasty, slimy puddle on the ground. As it begins to just spread slowly out, no longer able to hold itself together.
Alright, that ends my turn because I don't want Natasha anywhere near these things.
Are you sure? It's just pudding.
Mm.
Tasty, tasty pudding. Karn, you're up.
Yeah, I'm sure Natasha doesn't want to eat that.
I'm going ham on this one in front of me.
All right.
First is a claw attack.
Claw attack.
We don't have
a
any in the
nat
pool,
1.
do we?
There's nothing in the
Nope.
pool.
All right. Second claw attack.
All right. Are we doing brutal crit fails? I think we're doing brutal crit fails.
Since when?
Doesn't that just normally mean we get attacked?
Yeah, normally you guys get to...
You get an attack or something happens. It's bad.
Go for it.
Yeah, so it's going to reach out and try to smack you as you've missed it.
I'm mechanical scorpion. I'm not gonna do it.
It rolled a 3 on dice and it got shit. You swipe, you crash your claw into the ground below, breaking a tile. It reaches forward and slaps the ground wetly beside you, your form a little too wiry and spidery to strike it. With a 21 with your second attack, you cut and stab into the creature with your burning claws, dealing 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
And grappling it.
Why isn't this thing immune to being grappled? Why isn't this immune? Sure.
I have a claw full of pudding.
So you grasp it with a claw full of pudding.
It wants to grapple.
And as you punch into it and grab something semi-solid inside, you take 8 points of acid damage.
I promptly let go then and sting it with my tail as I'm kind of like waving my claw like I'm trying to dislodge the acid.
Sure. Make a quick Constitution save because you are a living construct.
19.
Okay. Your armor sizzles and pockmarks, but does not take much damage. Let's say it doesn't take enough damage. Let's see.
I adjusted my health and I rolled for my last sting attack.
Your last sting attack. Okay.
14 to hit.
14, it does hit.
12 piercing.
Points.
I imagine it's immune to the poison.
19 poison damage? That's 19 poison damage? Just straight up? Or does it make a save?
1 second, please.
It says 4d10.
It does say DC 12 Constitution underneath the attack.
Okay, DC 12 Constitution saving throw that it must make.
Yes.
I need a moment.
Get a quick fail.
Karn, as you rear back, your claws steaming, burning, and sizzling with the acid, you flail it off, turn about, and realize, no, you're not out of options. You rear your hind up into the air, sting forward, and strike into the top of the slime, which promptly begins to swell as you pump it full of viscous, corrosive poison. It bursts into a slimy, wet, green-stained puddle. Its constituent pieces boiling on the ground as it attempts to regain some sense of cohesion, some sense of surface tension, some sense of life, which is quickly snuffed out. There are 2 wet, black, oily puddles on the ground. One is pure black pudding essence. The other is very, very tainted with poison.
I raise both claws above my head in victory.
Is there enough goo to get samples?
Oh yeah, you dive on in. You guys can get some goo samples. You
Two
find
glasses
yourself in
out.
a.
I'm gonna get a sample from each one.
Go for it. You gain 2 samples of black pudding extract, or just vials of black pudding. We'll figure it out in post.
Yeah, I think you mentioned I would have to spend gold for vials if I was going to collect more.
Yeah, you can retroactively say, I bought vials, and mark that gold off of your thing. Let me see what they are.
Yeah, because I have 2.
I think I might retroactively add a couple more to my pile
Alright.
too, because
Just for every sample you take, it's a gold piece for each vial. We'll say you just have the vials on you, just mark off the gold.
okay.
Glass blowing is expensive, yo.
So while that's being picked up, is the Aetherstone rock actually still in the thing, not fully dissolved,
You
or
see the thatch, the hay, the living essence, the stuff that was once living is gone. It is flat stone and ash, white powdery ash. The stone is a almost trapezoidal shape, rounded rock. It looks like just some plain Jane boulder found somewhere outside in the jungle. But the other stone that's faceted is intact. It is still glowing, and there is some runic that is written, kind of binding it to the stone. You can get a close look. There's very little left of threat in this room.
awesome?
I will point out that I cannot add things to my page because it gives me an error code.
Gives you an error.
One of original or others
Are you
not
are you
obvious.
using the pop out?
I'm trying to hit
No,
the add button.
is your character sheet popped out into its
Yeah.
own window? Yeah, it's an error. You'll have to pop it back in to add things and then pop it back out after. Alternatively, I could make an item and drag it into your character sheet. If you'd like, I could do that now.
I can do it because black pudding plus.
So,
Okay.
how do I add an item?
In your character sheet, under inventory, there's a plus add button underneath loot. Bottom right.
So seeing the runic and stuff, I'm going to cast Identify on this trapezoidal rock with an Aetherstone.
An Arcana check? I'm sorry, I was pulled away from the screen for a moment. Yes, you can roll Arcana to identify the runic.
Oh, I'd cast Identify just to.
Oh, you cast Identify?
Yeah.
Okay. You cast Identify on the rock, and you see that it has the makings of. Wait, Identify, you just know what it is.
Yep.
So, it is unnamed. It is an unnamed arcane invention, but you understand intuitively, with your magic, that it is a heating stone. The magic inside makes it produce heat, defying all laws of the conservation of mass and thermodynamics. It simply makes heat. Roll me a quick Arcana check.
17.
With a 17, you understand that it's producing about 93 degrees, like temperature wise. It is warm. It is like body temperature warm. It is like incubator or living creature warm. You also realize, just intrinsically, how easy it would be to adapt this runic to create something that's even warmer. Perhaps a kiln or a forge. using an ether stone.
Ooh. Yeah, I look around this room and then I look back to the chest. And you said the chest has a locking mechanism of some sort, but it does not have like a keyhole that I can see.
It does not appear to have a keyhole. You see the lockbox upon the desk. It shines with a faint blue glow along its seams. The box has a handle for carrying, but it does not appear to have a discernible lock mechanism. There's a buckle and something sealing it in place, but you don't see a keyhole. And upon the desk, you see there are 5 black discs and a number of small clay figures scattered about. You also notice as you take a second look around the desk, some of those on one of the discs, there are 2 figures on top of them. Do you take a closer look?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a closer look.
All right, so as you look them over, you see that one of the figures it appears to be a rabbit with a horn on his forehead. You recognize this as an almirage, one of the local wildlife. There appears to be a small, furry-faced creature, somewhat bear-like. One moment. It's somewhat bear-like with shaggy ears and long whiskered face, but its stomach appears to be like fleshy. It has tiny, beady little eyes. You don't immediately recognize what this little creature is. There are several more. There is what looks to be a rotund bullfrog with 3 eyes and tentacles coming out of its back. There appears to be a snake-like creature made of clay.
Oh, am I? So I'm looking at figurines of the 9 gods.
You, after looking through all of them, yeah, you think these are the 9 trickster gods. There's an Alamiraj, a Zorbo, a Froghemoth, a Jakuli, a Gripply, an Eblis, and a Commodon, as well as a Sioux monster. The Froghemoth is the frog with the eyes and the tentacles. The Jakuli appears to be reminiscent of Shagambi, the leopard-like creature with the snake. Sorry, the Commodon looks like Shagambi, the leopard-like creature with the snakes coming out of its back. There is a small, angry monkey-like creature that you recognize as from the lore, a Sioux monster. The one you recognize as Wango, as well as the crane-like Eblis, Papazotl, and such. They do appear to be the 9 trickster gods. On one of the little discs, there is the Almiraj, Ijin, and the Zorbo, the little bear-like creature, Obolaka.
So there's only images on 3 of the discs, or only a couple of discs have images, and there's only 3 statue images on them.
They're little figurines. Sitting on one of the figurines, there are actually 2 of the figures.
Okay. I thought you were saying the figurine, like there was images of the figurines on the discs themselves, not just figurines on the discs.
Yeah, the discs themselves have figures on them. One of the sorry, I'm going through this backwards, so bear with me. So yeah, there are 9 little statues, little figurines total, and there are, let's see, and there are 5 black discs. On one of the discs, the Almiraj and the Zorbo are placed on top of them. on another of the discs, you see that there is a flail snail as well, sitting alone by itself. And there are 3 other discs with nothing on
Um, I don't know what to do with this.
Roll me just a
Can I
quick insight
Ar-
check.
Okay.
Insight or history? History of 10.
That was bad.
It definitely makes you remember the inscription upon the door when you first entered, the legend of the 9 in their story.
Have to go double checks. I'm gonna open up the portable hole, and I'm going to actually instruct my alchemical homunculus servant thingy to try retrieving the spell scrolls from behind Karn and
Okay.
transport them into the portable hole onto my work desk. And I will call in. We found a workstation. Took care of a news. There's some sort of chest with a lock with no key. I'm trying to save as many scrolls as possible while trying to figure out this lock.
Tanu nods in your direction.
Can I take a look at the lock?
Yeah, you can look at the box.
Yep, I'll move out of the way so
Yeah.
that she can look.
So Adanu nods to you, Roar. Yes, preserve as much information as you can. Oozes, they are indiscriminate in their avariciousness. And he just sort of continues to meditate, looking somewhat like concerned and focused, brow furrowed. Elena, you take a step in and you look at the box.
Oh yeah, I didn't know how long this would take, so I just typed it in chat. Can I roll a religion check to like try and put together what
go
this
for
is?
it. Go for it.
In OOC chat, could you note which statues are on the discs?
Sure, no 1 second.
Thank you kindly.
And that's a 13.
So, 13. Fortunately, you're a port kid. Something is definitely clicking here. This is the old religion, these are the old myths. You know something about the relationship with at least the 2 who are on the same pedestal. Ijin, the Almiraj, and Obolaka, the Zorbo, are enemies. One crossed the other, according to some old drama between the gods. Unk, you know that she is neutral, often seen as standing alone when it comes to disputes.
Are there any 2 that are like matching, like they're friends or more than friends?
As far as friendship goes, with the old myths, with the religion check of 13, you know that they embody different alignments. They're neutral, lawful good, lawful evil, that kind of thing. What really stands out about them in the stories is their their powerful rivalries. Who is the enemy of who is often more important to the lore of this land than who is friends with whom.
Okay. Can I trade the two statues out for the one statue of Unk?
So you pick Unk off of one of the discs?
Yeah.
And just place it on a different disc, or swap it for the two that are by
I'm gonna
for
separate
Ijin
the
and
enemies.
Obalaka.
Sorry,
Separate
it's
the
really
enemies.
hard. I can't see the puzzle, so.
Sure. So you just set the two aside and put Unk on their pedestal.
Yeah.
Okay. You pick up Unk. You place her down. You set the other two on the table. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, so is it like the box has a spot that these figures go in, or?
It's almost like a presentation or an offering in front of the box. The discs are, spaced out kind of evenly, 5 in all. So 2 left, 2 right, 1 center. Unk was sitting center.
Alright, well, Unk needs
Ijin
to
and
go
Obal.
back in the center.
Okay. Unk goes back in the center. Ijin and Obalaka, enemies, were on the far left.
Can I switch them up, though? Because they should probably be on separate sides.
Okay. You take Ijin, put her on left, and you take Obalaka and put her on the right. Far right, far away from each other.
And there's 2 more? No, 3, 4 more?
There are 9 in all. 3 of them are now sitting on pedestals.
I'm kind of standing next to Alina and staring down at all of them as she's moving these around. I'm going to point at the statues of the Commodon and the Gripply, and point at the other two discs, signaling to kind of place them opposite each other, kind of like she just did with the other 2 enemies.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Karn knows
You
shit.
separate.
Oh,
separate
no.
You separate Shagambi from Nang Nang. The Commandant and the Gripply separated. There are now. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 4 left on the table.
Roar actually, because he's been stopping thinking about the Legend of the Nine, he just goes, oh. And it's the legend. You put the enemies on the same thing in the order that they appear. So I reach over and I move Unk to the far right. I move, it was, what did you say? It was Obalaka or on the right? Whatever it is, Iljin and Obalaka are both going to be on the far left. And then
Then it's Shigambi and Nang Nang.
Yeah, Shigami and Nang Nang are going to be in spot number 2. And then I'm going to grab
Kubazan and Papazan.
Kubazan. Yep. And I'm going to put them in the 3rd spot. And then it's just the Su Monster and the Jakuli in the 4th.
So as you pick up Wongo and place him on the desk, and then pick up Moa and place her on the desk, the box opens.
I raise my claws above my head in victory again.
A cold glow escapes from the interior of the box as you see a shining sapphire-colored gem inside, roughly the size of half of a human fist. Within the box, there is a piece of parchment, weathered with age.
Could you say it again? I had to cough and I couldn't hear that last little bit.
Piece of
There's a-
parchment weathered with age.
Weathered age. Okay. Is it without me touching it? Is it currently legible?
It appears to be legible. It appears to be draconic.
Then I will use comprehend languages and actually, let me double check how long that's supposed to last.
If you need someone to read
Yeah,
it,
I'm gonna have to.
there's like 2 or 3 people in the room that can.
Yeah, I can read Dracona.
It lasts for an hour, so I still have it. So I just touch the page and read what's. I gently touch the page to read what's on it.
Okay. As you read the page, it reads as follows. He came without warning, his strange music enchanting those of lesser will. As we fought amongst each other, we knew this could be the end. I took the keys, I took the eyes, and hid them, so that he would not find her. If you are our savior, bring them together. Find her. Be you our enemy. May the deepest pit of hell yawn open and swallow you whole. It does not appear to be signed.
Well, so I will read that out loud, and I will look at the crystal. Does anyone else want to hold on to that crystal?
With the idea of strange music and chanting? Ugh.
Oh, that was Withers.
Ah, good. Biff can perhaps hold on to the crystal, if no one objects.
Fine with me. This is no big deal.
I will take it and I will hand it over to Biff.
Okay, Biff, you have a sizable shining sapphire in your hand. You all find yourself in this room. These scrolls recently acquired, protected from the elements now in Roar's portable hole. The statues remain on their discs, the magic seemingly inert. The box open. There is a door to the north of you. It appears to be locked shut with a mundane lock.
So because this place has a sneaky passage out, I don't know if the door up there leads to the same spot as the door on the left of the area we were in. But Karn is also too big to fit through that hole again.
I kind of slump to the floor, dejected.
Is there a particular reason Khan does not simply change to more Khan-like appearance?
I clack one claw at Biff, clack my other claw at Biff, and then I'll swing my tail gently towards him and pull it back into a ready position.
And Biff assumed you cannot do this too much.
I just kind of pause as though I've gone into hibernation as I think through this.
The changing back and forth is what
I waggle a claw side to side.
Magic is weird. But Biff understand.
I'll point one of my claws at the door.
Biff shrugs. Perhaps his best idea in getting circumstance to go through that door. Uh, the sneakers of us should maybe check the door for sneaky things. That said, um, who has the best checks for that kind of thing?
So it's investigation check to check for traps. No, yeah.
Yep. I'll take a swing at it.
As I walk past Biff, I'm gonna give him 15 HP.
Hey. Oh, Biff did not expect that. Thank
Very
you.
nice. Okay. Yeah, you reach out with your divine power, and Biff, you feel like a cold sensation, but it's like a pleasant chill, like the cool side of the pillow. Roar, you kind of shove Natasha aside, and she brushes up against you briefly before stepping aside, and you get a good look at that door, and you search it for signs of traps. You do not find any traps upon the door. You identify that the lock is of simple make. It should be easy enough to pick.
All right. Then I will just say, okay, it looks like it's not trapped. I think I might be able to pick this lock. Karn, can you? And I mime one of his pincer hands closing. That rock with the Aether Stone. Could you just pick that up and put it in the hole, please?
I will turn around in a circle and then I'll go over to scoop up the rock and do so.
Yeah, you scoop up the hefty rock. It's a boulder. It's a little boulder. It's warm to the touch. In fact, it's hot to the touch. Um, Almost unpleasantly so, but you're made of fire right now, so it doesn't quite matter to you. You plop it into the portable hole, and it tumbles into the thud.
Only then do I remember that we have a guest in the hole, and I really hope I didn't just drop it on top of him. So I'll poke my head through to see if he's okay.
He looks from the desk to the ground where it landed. What was that?
I pull my head back out.
You pull your head out. There's a sizable scuff mark on the wooden floor. Okay. Roar. The stone is in the hole. You have a door.
Awesome. Okay, so just a sleight of hand check.
Do you have thieves' tools or tinker's tools?
Yes, I have my thieves' tools pulled
Thieves'
out.
tools. It would be a thieves' tool check.
Okay, so that's proficiency plus dex plus d20. So flat 20, dirty 20.
The door unlocks. You feel it give a little bit. You know you can push it open.
And looking back at the room, knowing that my servant had been trying to clean up, is there anything else that looks historically important that I should that I might want to grab and protect, or does it look like we got everything outside of like the magical lock items?
As you look about, nothing seems to be in good enough condition. There are some brass urns that have turned green with age. Not quite urns, more like just sculptures made of metal. Possibly they might have been censers back in the day. There's an old clay pot for ink. The ink is long since dried up. It has a nice pattern to it. It's very old and weathered. As you look around, you see definite signs of mold and water damage all throughout the room. The scrolls seemingly have only been preserved due to the scroll cases being sealed with wax.
All right, yeah. Then, other than the items that were the scroll casing, the scrolls and the scroll cases that were carefully moved, I'm gonna leave the rest as is. I'm going to, um, I'll grab the one letter that was in the chest. I'll go into the hole, hand that to Adanu, and then I will walk back out and close the portable hole again.
Okay. So you hand blindfolded Adanu the piece of paper and walk out the hole, closing it behind you.
He has a bird to see with right now, or
Oh, he
a
does.
familiar.
Bat, I think. It was a bat.
Yeah.
Right. That is true. He got a familiar last episode. So he begins to pore over it using the familiar to see and begins to puzzle over it. And you hear him hum a little bit as you leave him behind.
Yep. I just wanted to give him the confirmation that it seems like, yes, we have definitely found the right spot for Caliad. And as I pop out, I look at everyone. So do we want to go through the door I just unlocked?
Yes.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Who's brave? Who's feeling brave?
Biff can do it.
Biff
I'm
is
going-
brave boy.
I'm going to reach into this passage and like tap against it so I can motion our companion through.
Yep, that was gonna be
You
the
saw-
next thing I suggest.
You summon Bulgup.
I summon Bulgup, and then I'll start kind of like squeezing and gently nudging my companions aside so I could join Biff.
Yeah, I move out of the way so that Karn can take point with Biff if Alina's not already doing so.
Yeah.
I'm not being pushy, but I'm definitely in the vanguard.
So, question, with Alina standing there, could I reach over, gently grasp her in one of my claws and plant her on my back?
If you so choose.
Uncontested for what it's worth.
All right.
Yeah, I'll reach
Yeah.
over, grab her with my claws, and set her down on my back. So, and then we'll take a position behind Biff. She's on my back. I've got both my claws raised and my tail poised over her head.
This is cool as shit. I want the painting of this.
Riding into battle atop a Karn. Okay. So you rick-a-tack tap, and a few moments later, Bulgup pops out from the other side of the room.
It just slides in like Kramer.
Just slides in. Oh. That is an awful smell. Oh, what is that? It's black and viscous.
Used to be a pudding. Then it was 2 puddings.
An agent of Ubelex for sure. Well, this is cozy.
Yes, Biff is about to advance, so perhaps stick in the back where it is safer.
Well, strength to your arm. I will start. What is the term? Blasting. Yes.
God damn
If
it.
something goes awry.
Alright, and with that, Biff opens the door and moves forward.
Biff opens the door. Biff, as you enter into the next room, you see one of the faintly glowing red skeletons. Its body covered with these jagged red crystals. It does not seem to have noticed you. What is your passive perception?
17.
17. You do notice underfoot as you step forward, you nearly step on it, what appears to be part of a spinal cord. And you look closer and see, no, that is the skeleton of a tiny snake. It wriggles toward you.
Oh no.
You have a moment to react.
One hand up in a fist, military designation for stop, to his companions and behind him, while he bends down and tries to immediately grasp the head of the snake.
Grab the snake, roll a grapple check. Roll a grapple check.
That would be athletics or acrobatics.
Athletics to grapple.
14.
It rolled a 2 on its acrobatics check, so you have a snake by its head, and it wriggles and thrashes about, completely constrained by your big meaty fist. It tries to bite you, but you have it completely grabbed.
I'll hold out an open claw towards him just in case.
To be sure, this is a skeleton of a snake, right?
Is the skeleton of a snake with tiny little teeth and a little bony body, and it is angry as a hornet as you grab it.
All right. Biff's going to put um, use the upraised hand and put what is that? The stone, the sapphire in his shirt. And then try to bend over and muffle the sound as he goes to twist and snap this thing in half if possible.
Okay. Let's see. So you have a grapple. Just roll me just a quick. Just roll an unarmed strike. Unarmed strike to try to.
Oof.
10.
Yes, 10.
You crack it in half. It is dead.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it was dead. Now it's just
double dead.
Now it's not moving. Looking about the room, you see what appear to be more pens to your left. Quick cursory glance, you look to the right. You see a number of tables strewn about, and there does appear to be a number of just rudimentary weapons set up on these racks. To the north, you see one of the wash basins, beyond which you see a desk long since degraded with a number of pots upon it. The red skeleton appears to be standing in place, its head down, shoulders slumped. And you hear as its foot clacks the tile with a rhythmic pattern. It's toe tapping.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you guys are all moving very stealthily.
Yes.
In the darkness, not producing much in the way of light.
Should actually. All right. So Biff turns to his allies, points to himself, points to the skeleton, and does fist in palm.
I raise my claws in a ready stance.
All right, you guys attempt to get a surprise round down the thing?
Yeah, Biff is going to move around stealthily. Should I roll or would the
Yep. So if you wanna like stealth up to this thing and try to gank it, you'll have to roll a stealth check.
All right, we're gonna do that. 25 stealth. Moving at half speed. Making sure I don't see anything hidden where I am.
Where you are, well, it's mostly darkness surrounding you. You do not see any hidden creatures. You do see there are a number of those snakes on the ground. You cannot tell by their still forms whether or not they are dead or dead.
All right. Only thing Biff can really do is point to the ground at the snake because as he is passing them, because he is focusing on the exploding skeleton. Uh, Wood moving. Well, he already passed the one just below, but Wood moving into the space of the one just above him trigger it. Does he know?
With a stealth of 25, you're pretty sure you're moving quiet and carefully enough to not alert these things, to not awaken them.
Okay. Biff is going to pick up the exploding skeleton and suplex it behind him.
Okay, suplex rules is what, a contested grapple check followed by bullshit?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So, grapple.
27.
27 beats an 18. You can successfully grapple the skeleton. You have your second attack.
I want to make sure I get this right as I look into the features. Oh, I'm not seeing the
1d8 plus strength mod bludgeoning. It's another grapple check to lift it up. And if he fails this check, you knock him into the ground for 1d8 plus strength.
Okay.
So it begins to flail as you grapple it from behind.
22.
And a 22 beats a 12 as you lift up and over and bend your back to crunch it into the ground head first. Roll your d8 damage, add your strength modifier. You still have the stones of chaos, right? So
Yep.
Oh, you might not even need that. All right, roll damage.
2 damage.
2 total.
That's just the okay on die. So you said strength mod.
Strength mod.
So 4 total. That's dumb.
4 points. Yeah, that's a low roll. So it crunches, ass in the air, legs in the air, flailing about as the crystals along its body begin to crack and smash. What is the bonus damage for your flaming thingy?
Making sure it's a 1d10, right?
1d6 elemental damage.
1d6. Okay. I'll just type that. 3. So we're looking at 7 total.
All right. So you smash this thing behind you. It's not behind you as you have it grappled. It is still moving. It is still twitching. It is still writhing, and its crystalline body, the bones, are beginning to glow with a hot red, fiery, magmatic glow within the bones.
All right. That done, Biff is going to release and just roll forward.
All right, that's Biff's turn. What's everyone else doing?
Charging towards it.
Charging toward it. So you
Riding
charge
Karn
along the
into
ground.
battle.
You ride Karn into battle.
Yes.
Yep. Karn, the skeleton is prone on the ground.
Just gonna start slamming my claws and tail into it.
Can I roll off of Karn?
As Karn rolls
Certainly.
forward, she just does like
One
a
moment.
side roll off.
There.
All right, you guys are flanking. 22-5, yeah. So as you guys kind of wail into it, between the punching and the stabbing and the cracking, the skeleton perishes.
Violently.
And it does so violently, and it needs everyone in the circle, Biff, Alina, Karn, and all these snakes, to make dexterity saving throw. Even if these snakes pass, they are dust.
Oh no.
You're near me. By the way, everyone who's near me.
You can add 5 to that check. Karn, that's still in that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can't help that.
Can't help that. Sorry. 4d6 points of fire damage. And all right, 1 second.
Ouch. I was too busy trying to look cool rolling off of Karn.
All right, so Karn, you take 12 points of fire damage. Alina, with your +5 to that dex save, you
No,
make it. You
that is with the +5.
That's with the +5.
Yeah, I rolled
Oh
a
no.
5.
Yeah, you're just short. You're just short. It's a 15 dex save.
Mm-hmm.
So you both take 12 points of fire damage. Biff, you take 6.
Because
Biff,
I healed before we walk into this room.
and Biff, you're resistant to fire right now, so you
Yep.
take 3. So there is a loud explosion as the skeleton erupts. It echoes along the chamber. Good.
Biff hears the explosion, looks back to see his handiwork, and then notices 2 allies. Why did you come forward? It was going to explode.
I just
To be
bashed
fair,
one of my
I rolled him into battle because it looks cool as fuck. That's my excuse.
I just like raise a claw and just bash it into the remains of the bones, and then look at Biff.
You bash into the bones and crash and bash and punch, making all kinds of noise. Roar, you got dark vision right now?
Yep.
Yeah, you got dwarven dark vision. So you're the one to notice as you have line of sight. Shambling down the hallway is one of the decayed, vestment-wearing undead creatures. As you look at this creature, you notice that it is not as poorly armed as those you've seen before. Beneath the robes, beneath the wrappings and the tattered cloth, there appears to be a chain shirt in immaculate condition of a silvery,
Oh no.
almost mercurial-looking metal. A metal that you instantly recognize as mithril, just from a cursory glance. In its hands, dragging across the floor, is a long and slender, pointed spear-like weapon.
Um, as much as I'd like to try and keep him alive, I also know that there's no way we're all fitting back through that hole, especially with Karn Big. So I am just going to call out, uh, better armed monk down the hall, and I will firebolt.
Firebolt at the monk. All right. Roll your attack.
20 to hit, and it looks like it's 11 fire damage if it hits.
All right, let me check his AC. 11 to hit?
No,
So,
20 to hit, 11 fire
20
damage.
hit, 11 damage. It does take the damage. It takes 11 points of fire damage. As it is struck by the 11 points of damage, it begins to charge down the path toward you. You see pinpricks of red light well up in the back of its eye sockets. It rears this pole arm back behind it, moving with startling, uncanny speed toward you.
I would like to move to intercept.
Okay. So you move into intercept, and give me one moment. Oh, one moment, something's not quite right.
Ooh, that's an interesting glow.
I'm just trying to figure out why my vision is not working.
Oh, why isn't your vision working?
I mean,
Hold
I
on a
have
second. You
dark
should.
vision, but the dark vision is not based off of me. It's based off of Karn for some reason.
Karn is glowing.
That might be why.
Karn is glowing, and your dark vision should be shades of gray.
Yes, that's what I see. Okay.
Okay,
So
cool.
it is moving.
Got it.
Everything is working correctly. I was confused.
Got it. Okay. So I will need you to roll for initiative as you attempt to intercept. In fact, everyone 6. In fact, everyone can roll for initiative.
Should I be able to see this at all, or am I?
You are. God, you're in the dark.
Okay.
It is very dark for you. You're standing in the shadows. You can hear movement around you.
Didn't you say that there's glowing coming from the fucker's eyes? So
It's a very. You can see the pinpricks of his eyes. Yes.
Okay.
Like, can
So
I get? Would somebody mind just a ping where the pinprick is? Thank you.
Do I have a chance to cast light again?
Yeah, I'll see you have a chance to cast that. Where do you center it?
Probably on the tile next to the dude.
As you run in to intercept Alina, there's a flash of vibrant white light. The creature runs in to make combat with you, and it's going to roll. Okay. Is everyone in the tracker?
No, because it won't. I don't see myself in the.
All right, you gotta right click yourself and toggle your combat state. So right click and hit the sword and shield.
Thank you.
Yep, and then just roll initiative. Got it.
Or select
Biff?
yourself an initiative on your page.
Got it.
I didn't have it on my page, on my current one.
Okay, so we're gonna begin combat. So as Alina and this excuse me, one of the faith keepers, locks into combat with one another, sword and polearm raised. Biff, you are prepared and ready, and suddenly there's light.
There you are. Just get right around him and start beating him around where his kidneys would be.
Okay. You start giving it a good punch. You have advantage on these attacks. 16 hits.
Alt roll. So how can I just want to do advantage on this, but I'll worry about that later.
Right.
So that's a 17 for the first attack. 19 for the second.
All right, both attacks hit.
So when doing it this way, do you take the first roll or the second roll?
As far as the damage goes,
Yes.
I take the attack that hits.
Okay. Then that is 8 to hit, and then a 6 to hit.
Right, so
damage. I'm sorry.
8 damage and 6 damage.
Plus
your Stones of Chaos last for only 1 minute, correct?
That's correct.
All right. It has been more than a minute since you activated.
Okay, then we're gonna let that ride.
Did you just delete Biff?
No, I did not. I was in a chat box.
Yeah, you disappeared for a second and you dropped from initiative. Hold on. All right, it doesn't change much. Okay. The Anointed. All right, so it is going to turn about face and make it 1 attack at Biff and 1 attack at Alina. All right, so Oh, no, its dex is... Well, 8's not going to hit Biff. It swivels about and attempts to attack Elena. 21 to hit.
Yep.
That's going to hit. All right, so... Oh, that is terrible. It does 3 points of slashing damage against you. So that's cool. Yeah, that's its turn.
Quickly getting to a point where it's becoming a thing that I need to pay attention to. I cannot just shrug that off anymore.
All right. Leah, you're up in the back.
I'm going to move forward so I'm not shooting through everybody. And I'm going to Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost, go for it. 12 does not hit. So you sling your Ray of Frost. It glances across the creature's shoulder, and you see that gleam of silvery, almost blue chain underneath its tattered vestment robes, almost as though the magic is rebuffed by the mithril.
Nod my head knowingly. Ah. End turn.
End turn. All right, one moment. Moves within. Nope, can't do anything with that. Roar, you're up.
All right. He needs to make a con save as I cast Levitate on him.
Levitate. Constitution saving throw. Let's see where this goes. Con save. Nat 1! Nat 1!
Awesome.
Fucking hell.
I will, using that, I'll lift him off of the ground. And that way, he has no way to move, but not outside of people's attack range, but just making it so that he can't come any closer so that the people who can do the most damage can hit him. And I'll call back to Karn, and I'll say, Karn, I made him float. He can't move of his own free will. I think that makes it a lot easier for you. Get up there, please.
Please get up there. All right,
I
Roar.
give him a clap of an acknowledgement.
And that's my turn.
Indeed. All right, end turn. Alina, you're up.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna hit it with a sword, I think.
All right, give him a whack. 24 hits, 11 points of slashing damage. You cleave in through some bones, but you find that the chain shirt does not seem to split against your blade. The bones break. They snap beneath your longsword. But this armor is tough. 19. An additional 5 points of bludgeoning. It twists and turns as you kind of stab and poke and cut at it while it's floating.
That's what I got.
2 attacks and hold the ground.
2 attacks and hold my ground.
Birdie, you're up.
So it's just the one guy, right? No one else has
Just
come
the
up
one
hall?
guy.
Just for now. All right.
Birdie, your keen floppy ears detect just the fact that you guys are making so much noise into such a dark hallway.
There's shit up the hallway.
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to aim my longbow at this guy because I prefer to be far away and people are too close for me to try burning hands. So let me do that. Well, that was a nat 1, so that's a total of 10.
Nat 1. Your bowstring snaps.
All right, I'm going to take...
You'll need to take a round to string your bowstring again.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. In the meantime, I will... Does she have enough movement?
She has 50 feet of movement, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to have her dart and dodge and slip between under Karn's legs and tackle this guy.
As Natasha leaps into action, bounding, she gets to hear before the Faithkeeper twists about, burning red eyes, finding Natasha on the ground. They twist their body, buck, and twirl their hips, and lunge with the silvered polearm, attempting to attack Natasha at range. Does a 17 hit Natasha?
It does not.
It does not. Natasha manages to slip under the blade as he uses his reaction to try to sentinel strike her. You may roll your attack. As Natasha leaps into the air to take a bite out of someone.
Right, she gains advantage because flanking. So, what is it? It's pounce?
Pounce. So you make your attack, and as part of that, you can pounce.
So the pounce is with the claw attack. So that is a 15 plus 9. So 24.
24 hits. Roll damage.
1d4 plus 9. That is 11 slashing damage. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Or strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw versus, what, 16?
14.
14? Doesn't make it.
Alright. She does not make her second attack, then.
He does not make the saving throw.
Oh, he doesn't?
She
makes her second attack, then.
Alright, but she has to actually, pounce him, right?
Yeah, he's
not so prone. You guys... he's in the air floating, so you guys watch as Natasha leaps up, bites him, and then begins to, cling to him, biting and nipping and growling.
He's like one of the cat toys that's like a little fishing rod with a feather on the end.
Yeah, she's fucking tearing him to pieces. Roll damage attack.
All right.
Back feet chickens.
She's flanking, so, fuck him up. That's advantage.
Oh, that's max damage. 6 plus 9.
What's the attack?
It's biting, piercing.
Yeah, what's the attack roll? You have to still attack.
Yeah, it's 6 plus 9.
Oh, okay. What's damage? Did you roll twice for advantage?
No, I don't need to. Wait,
because you might crit. You might crit, so roll again.
Oh, that's 18 on die.
Okay, roll damage.
I heard you say roll damage, and I thought you meant roll damage. So 6 plus 9, or should I roll again?
Oh, it is 6 plus 9? Hold on. Yeah, you start tearing pieces off of him. Alina, Beth, he is falling to pieces. Karn, you're up.
Oh, there's so many people in my way now.
There's so many people in your way. You can squeeze past your allies. It appears to be some kind of animal pen. There's thatch, long since rotten and decayed.
Can I? Oh, geez, this is awkward. I'm just gonna bulldoze through it.
You can move past your allies and under if you have the movement speed.
Yeah, I'd like to get over here with Alina and try and attack this thing.
All right, you just can't end your turn there. You can attack, but you can't end your turn there.
Okay, then I'll attack and then back up.
All right, you're effectively leaning in, taking a pot shot, and pulling back out.
Oh, if I pull back, I might be able to drag him. Just for kicks.
Just for
Right, he's
kicks.
floating. He's got a cat hanging off of him, and then Karn just grabs him and drags him back.
All right, so first attack is 22. Well, I've got advantage.
You might crit. Can you believe we've had no crits tonight, except for crit
That's
fails?
weird. All right, so 3 bludgeoning damage.
You give him a good pinch, solid pinch.
19 to hit, 8 bludgeoning damage.
19 to hit with 8 points of bludgeoning. 8 points of bludgeoning. You pull the Faithkeeper's head off of its shoulders and kind of just pull him through the air a little bit as the
Can I say
pieces.
that I grabbed like his body in one claw and his head in the other and just pop him apart?
Rough day? Sure.
Yeah.
He's trying to crack his back, but
You rip him in half. The only thing that manages to hold together is the fine set of chain armor it wears. Its silvered polearm floats in the air, still held aloft by telekinesis. As the pieces kind of spread and split apart, like detritus in space.
Can I lift up his pole arm with one claw and investigate it?
Karn, roll me a D100.
Oh, Jeebus. That calls for a physical roll.
Oh no.
Sure. You guys watch as Karn lifts up and pinches this polearm out of the air and pulls it toward him.
Why did you do that?
And there's this long moment where he's just staring at it.
Oh no.
All right, I'll roll my shiny, heavy, gem-like Zelda dice on this one. 42.
I heard an explosion. Karn, this feels familiar in your hand. I know it's a pincer, but it feels familiar. It is similar in many ways to your spear, but the haft is in much better condition. The blade is different. The haft is different, but something about the make, something about how it was built, and the fact that it has this silvery sheen to it. It feels right in your hands, and you can't quite place why. There's a memory that's just out of reach.
I do a kind of rippling skitter where I just lift one leg off the ground, tap it back down, and I do that with all my legs in a row. And then I'm going to try and slide it between plates on my back to hold it in place.
Sure. Roar, do you maintain concentration on telekinesis? Can you just grab other things when telekinesis is active?
Karn, if you're having trouble, I'm happy to carry that for you as well.
Telekinesis stays on the thing that I have the original spell on. It doesn't shift, so if you took it away, I don't have it anymore.
Okay, so it's still floating. The whole body is in pieces, floating.
Yeah, I was hoping to get over to the body and liberate the shirt from the dead body.
It is falling to pieces, and you reach up and you kind of pull the chain shirt off of the rib cage and give it a shakedown, and it is immaculate. Biff! Oh my god, Biff, you walked so far away. Okay, Biff, roll me a stealth check while everyone else is doing that. Roll me stealth and roll me perception while you're down the hall. Oh boy, Biff. Oh, I love you, but goodness gracious.
it's like a child in a supermarket.
Stealth. Okay. Okay. perception. Biff. Biff, you hear the very faint rasp. Of some gurgling, barely breathing creature in the distance. You think you're moving quietly enough. You do see that there is room for cover as you feel the wall. You sense that you could slip into this alcove to take cover if you so choose. You are not sure what is down this hall, but there's something down this hall. What was the other thing that we were talking about? Liberating the chain shirt. Roar. It is mithril, very finely made. The chains are less circles and more like little figure eights that interlock. The flexibility and lightness of this is unreal. The craftsmanship is beyond most of the skill you have witnessed in your time at the Lyceum. With your background, you know what this is as you recover a fine elven chain shirt.
Nice.
Elven chain, as you understand it, is less like armor and more like a second skin. By merely the virtue of wearing it, you are proficient. Anyone can wear it. Gotta grab this item.
And
Right.
just make sure I heard correctly, Karn was trying to put the spear on his back.
I
Trying to
was,
put the-
when Alina offered to carry it for me, I would, assuming I don't feel any drive to cling to it, I would hold it out to her.
You don't feel like supernaturally attached to it, but there's something that is pulling on your sentimentality. You hand it over, and it feels not so good, but it's not as though it has grabbed you.
I just kind of rub my pincers together in like an anxious motion, and then back up a little bit to show Alina that, yeah, I trust her with it, but I'm also very interested in it.
I will
Alina.
take good care of it for you.
Martial training, weapons, you know them, you use them, you
Hell
practice
yes.
with them. It's one of the things that you're actually knowledgeable about.
Yup.
This is a silvered polearm. It has some interesting qualities to it. The make is... Get out of here, Con. I gotta grab Alina.
Guard.
Blink. The make is masterwork quality, and you know that in the right hands, you could pull off some fucking serious bullshit with it. Dropping it onto your sheet.
Garn, this is a beautiful piece. This is a silvered polearm, and it's masterwork at that.
Just rub my pincers together.
So, mechanically speaking, Alina, this is an advanced weapon. It has a unique property. In fact, it has two. This is a reach weapon. Wielding it will add 5 feet of your reach when you attack with melee attacks. This means that your range for opportunity attacks increases by 5. It is also a guard weapon. Guard weapons are made to fight defensively, often designed with a long reach or flat surface for parrying. While wielding a guard weapon, whenever a hostile creature moves within your reach and you did not move on your last turn, you can use a reaction to make a weapon attack with a guard weapon against that creature. Attack hits. It deals no damage. but the creature immediately stops, and its speed becomes 0 until the end of its turn.
Karn, may I use this until you are normally shaped again? Would you mind?
I hold up one claw and then open it, and then I close it and look at it and realize that I can't give a thumbs up. So
wiggle your tail if that is okay.
I wiggle my tail.
Okay, I will use this and I will give it back once you are ready to use it. Thank you.
Wiggle the tail.
So, as we approach 10:09, would you guys like to go a little further?
Yeah.
Sure.
I know some of us have morning shifts, and I want to ask. I will attempt to end this at 10:30, 10:45 at the latest.
I feel we could probably handle the next room.
I'm honestly getting tired, but if everyone else wants to go, I guess we could keep
if
going.
there's one, if Cece's gonna admit she's tired, then I will also admit that 6 a.m. comes real goddamn early.
Real goddamn early.
And this is
All
a
right,
really good spot maybe to call it for tonight and then pick it up.
All right, that sounds fair to me. So, we're not admitting defeat. We are taking a tactical. Wow, I gotta stop too.
We're
it's too late for
tactically
me.
disengaging.
We are taking a tactical disengage maneuver. It's not a war. It's a special operation.
Plus, right around 10:15 is when everyone starts making silly character choices, and not like silly on purpose, but like, oops.
Well, I mean, like, what could possibly go wrong in the hallway, the darkened hallway, the dark, occupied hallway that Biff is slowly creeping down.
Biff is here.
With his stealth check of 12.
Biff is being quiet.
Biff is being quiet. Its name is in purple. Okay, well, I would like to thank you all for playing tonight. Please,
thank you for game.
Please.
Thank you very much for game.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you got to make it, Mish. I was worried you weren't gonna, but I'm glad you came and stayed in that goddamn giant scorpion form, despite all of the drawbacks that were presented to you to make you get out of that giant scorpion form. Super helpful.
Well, you can thank Leah.
Alternatively, you could have taken the door, but that's fine too.
There was a door?
There were 3 doors.
Nice.
One was locked. One was, well, you don't know about the other ones.
I'm starting to wonder if there's not at least one other secret door on the other side, because
actually, if only elves still had secret door sense, wouldn't that be something? There's a spell for that, buddy. Please, if you have run into an issue tonight, let me know, because I would like to massage and fix that next game.
My issue was everybody was crowding the creature and I couldn't use burning hands.
I don't mean tactically, I mean your character sheets and your features.
I know, I'm just...
You bratty tiefling bitch.
I fixed this right.
Attack 26.
The only issue I'm having is I'm not figuring out how to mark that I've used some of my single-use abilities, which is a little frustrating.
Single-use abilities, such as?
Like comprehend languages, sending in another one that I get once a day from my mark.
You have to you have to click the dice button.
Oh, hold on.
When you hover over it, and you hover over the icon, it shows a little dice on.
Oh, okay. I've never hit that, so okay, so I have to hit that. So okay, we're good.
No worries.
Now that I know
Figure
that.
it out. Cool beans. I said I would do it in post. I'm sorry to put you on the spot there. Cool. Yeah. So, like I said, any issues? Please make a list. I would love to put it into a Google Doc and just go through them over time. I know the Shillelagh staff thing was, why am I close enough to... I love the flavor text! Oh no, I love it too much. I'm rambling. Y'all want to play tomorrow?
Choices.
I mean, you
I'd
don't
be
work.
fine.
You have all day to plan.
Yeah, I might. I might plan. We'll see if I sleep until 4 again. All right, guys. Thank you for game. I had a lot of fun despite level of exhaustion. Hit me up in IMs. I may be up for a little while longer, and that's it. Enjoy your
Alrighty.
goodies.
Have a good